Alright, this is the story of what I hope will be the dumbest thing that ever happens to me. So one night in the winter when I was working as a stagehand, IATSE Local 13 represent, I had to work at the Fitzgerald Theater in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area. I had never worked at before, and I had to drive like 40 minutes from home to get there. And because I didn't really know the parking of the location very well, I just chose the nearest by location that had, you know, that blue circle with a P in it, because I figure, all right, that must be public municipal 24-hour parking. And I parked there without incident, and I don't notice the hours that they have posted on a sign that's like nearish the entrance. Now the job was the loadout for a production called, I believe, A Soldier's Play. And the back of the Fitzgerald Theater is one of the least paved surfaces I've ever seen where somebody made an effort at all. You had to move all of these stacks of cases into and out of these potholes constantly, and there was just no getting around. We had to load these 18-wheelers, and because there wasn't really a loading dock proper, they just had to park in the alley behind the building or on the road near the alley, so that really added on to our hours. And it was winter, so it was well below 30 by the time we finished, and it was also after 3 a.m. Now initially we're all happy that it's after 3 a.m. because, you know, when that's the case, we get overtime pay, woo! When I finished, I go back to the parking lot, and it's closed because I'd actually parked in private parking. I don't know what they were doing with that big P symbol if the hours are so limited. Now, it says it's open until 6:30 a.m. So I have 3.5 hours at below freezing temperatures to wait before I could get to my car to get home. And I get out my phone to, you know, get an Uber or anything. I have got no power on my phone, so I have 3.5 hours to wait at below freezing temperatures. I tried desperately to go to the building adjacent to the parking lot, and I banged on the door, and a security guard tells me, "We're closed." And I said, "Well, my car is parked in your parking lot. Is there some way I can get to it?" And he said, "Oh, you have to get to it through the other door." I didn't know what that meant. It being winter, and this was kind of a sort of an abandoned area of St. Paul, Minneapolis, they weren't maintaining their sidewalks very well. So there's I don't know, 2 inches of ice over on all the steps. Basically only not face planting because I'm holding on to the railings for dear life as I climb stairs around this building looking for somewhere where there could be an entrance. And I give that up after about half of an hour of looking. So with no other things to do, but I need to stay warm to try moving around. That's pretty much my only option. And I'm wandering around, I'm thinking, is there a homeless shelter somewhere around? And I try a cathedral, and I'm like, okay, they might be offering shelter to homeless people. And no, all the doors are locked and bolted firm shut. And I try that with a church, then I see another church, and I try that with them. And I keep looking for a homeless shelter or a hotel or something, and I get lost. And because I have to look for the way back to the parking lot the hard way. And on the way there, this guy is calling to me from across the street, and he's like, "Hey, hey." And I'm kind of a suburban bumpkin, so I have terrible survival instincts when I'm in an urban area. And I'm like, yeah, wait. And then I run over to the guy who's calling me from across the street, this complete stranger. And he's like, "Are you homeless too?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I'm waiting for the parking lot to open, then park my car in." And he said, "Well, I was hoping you could vouch for me so they'd let me into this hotel." And I'm like, dude, I don't think they'd listen to me because I'm just a guy at a park. They'd probably out at 4 in the morning. I probably seem pretty homeless myself. And he said, "Yeah, I guess. Good luck to you." I'm being wished good luck by a homeless guy. I keep wandering, trying to find the way back to the parking lot where my car is locked. And I chance upon I believe it was an assisted living home for senior citizens or something, or some kind of a low-income apartment or extended stay hotel. I don't know. And somebody is coming out and I like come up to them and like, I'm just waiting for the parking lot with my car to open. Could I stay inside? And she's like this older lady, and she's like, huh? And I explain again. She's like, I see. Like, look, do you have a building manager I could talk to and explain the situation so that, you know, I'm not just trying to sneak in or get into somebody's hotel room or something? And they're like, manager's not going to be back until like 7. I think I stay inside because I desperately want out of the cold, and I figured, well, probably the worst they'll do is kick me out. So I go in there and I wait a bit. Then somebody comes out of their room, goes down into like the lobby area, and this is an older African-American lady. Into her phone, she basically starts screaming a bit from the Boondocks. If you've seen that show, it's like listening to this very angry person. I'm like, how long before she realizes she doesn't recognize me and tries to take out some of the anger that she's just been yelling into the phone at me because I'm arguably an intruder? I better get out of here. So I sneak back outside. I'm actually like a block from the parking lot, and thankfully they'd opened it up early. So I run inside and I run to the ticket station area. There's a guy there who's like eating his breakfast or something, and I bang on the door and I'm like, hey, because I don't know if like the network doesn't come online until 6:30 to raise the bars or whatever, I'm asking like, hey, can I drive out of here? I know it's not open until 6:30. And he's like, yes, sir. Probably get a lot of crazy guys when you're a parking attendant. And okay, thank you. And I drive my car up, I give him the ticket, and he says, all right, and he tells me the fee, and he says, do you have cash? And I'd taken out my debit and credit card just to be safe already, and I say, no, I don't have cash. I don't know what I'm gonna do, and then the guy apparently takes pity on me because he sticks out his clipboard, which apparently has a QR code or whatever on it, and the bar raises. And I'm like, oh God, thank you so much. I can't believe my luck. I'd been worried. I was gonna freeze like the guy in the story How to Start a Fire, and now this guy has taken pity on me and allowed me to leave without having to pay a parking fee. So I make to zoom out and I go almost immediately into the wall. I don't know how I did it, how I crashed, but like there's barely a scratch on my fender. I didn't know that at the time. I thought maybe I'd like ruin the side of my car. And because I'm the crazy guy that he just took pity on, the guy probably just wants to get rid of me because he yells, no, it's fine, keep going. And I drive home, and when I get home, I just crash in bed. I just feel like simultaneously so cursed and so lucky. I desperately hope that's the stupidest thing that ever happens to me, but I'm not really that optimistic, so dreading when the real stupidest thing that'll ever happen to me comes. All right, thanks for listening.